Good morning. Today we'll start with the topic conventional fuels. We will start with important qualities of engine fuel. Fuel used in internal combustion engine should possess certain basic qualities which are important for the smooth running of engines. In this section, the important qualities of SI and CI engines are reviewed. First, we will discuss the SI engine fuel. Gasoline, which is mostly used in present SI engine, is a blend of several low boiling paraffins, naphthalenes, and aromatics. It is a mixture of these three in varying proportions. Some important qualities of gasoline are discussed below. First is your volatility. Volatility is one of the main characteristics properties of gasoline which determines its suitability for use in SI engine. Since gasoline is a mixture of different hydrocarbons, volatility depends on the fractional composition of the fuel. So whatever the fractional composition of the fuel, because each composition, each you can say constituted has a different boiling point. So after the mixture, we have 3-4 combinations of the constituents. The fractional composition will decide what will be the boiling point or volatility. The usual practice of measuring the fuel volatility is the distillation of the fuel in a special device at atmospheric pressure and in the presence of its own vapor. The fraction that boils off at a definite temperature is measured. The characteristics points are the temperatures at which 10, 40, 50 and 90% of the volume evaporates. This we will discuss in this curve. You can see a typical distillation curve of gasoline with volume evaporator percentage and temperature. This we can understand with the help of example. This dotted line shows the fuel used in summer in spark ignition engine. In summer, there is hardly any difficulty in the volatility. You can say evaporation of the fuel. So in summer we use a fuel which you can say volatile, which is volatile at higher temperature. We can use that. But in the winter there is a difficult for the start to engine because temperature outside is very low. So we have to use a fuel which is volatile at less temperature. So the winter, you can see here, it is volatile at 35 degrees Celsius, and in summer which we use in summer is volatile at 38 degrees Celsius. So this is the one of the major difference. Second is, you can see here, as the temperature increases, the volatility of the fuel will increase. At 40 degrees Celsius, around 10% fuel is volatile. At 80 degrees Celsius, around 20% fuel is volatile. And at 120, around 60% fuel in the chamber, in the closed chamber is volatile. And around 200 degrees Celsius, almost all the fuel, means almost 99% of fuel converted into vapors. So this is a major difference. So figure 5.2 shows the fractional distillation curve of gasoline for both winter as well as summer grade gasoline. Grade means that in winter and summer we will use different gasoline, because in winter it is difficult for the fuel to volatile at less temperature. So we will temperature is less, so we will use a fuel with lower volatility temperature. The method for measuring volatility has been standardized by American Society for Testing Materials, and the graphical representation of the result of the test is generally referred to as ASTM distillation curve, which we had discussed earlier. The more important aspects of volatility related to engine fuels are discussed in conjunction with the distillation curve. Next is starting and warm up. A certain part of gasoline should vaporize at room temperature for easy starting of engine, because during starting of engine all the engine components parts is at room temperature. So it means that fuel must volatile even at room temperature. So that kind of blend, or you can say combination of different constituents of hydrocarbon we have to make the fuel suitable for spark ignition engine. Hence the portion of the distillation curve between 0 to 10% boiled off have relatively low boiling temperature as the engine warms up. You can see here this 10%, here you can see 10% fuel is volatile here, because for complete burning of the fuel we need 100% fuel to be volatile. after fuel will come into the cylinder, so it should be 100% volatile during compression stroke, or you can say it should be 100% volatile. But the 10% fuel is volatile during the, you can say, at starting of the engine. When it's very low temperature, you can see a 10% volatile fuel at room temperature. Okay, so this is the necessity condition. As the engine warms up, the temperature will gradually increase to the operating temperature. Low distillation temperature are desirable throughout the range of distillation curve for best warm up. Next is operating range performance. In order to obtain good vaporization of gasoline, low distillation temperatures are preferred in the engine operating range. Better vaporization tends to produce both more uniform distribution of fuel to the cylinder as well as better exhalation characteristics by reducing the quality of liquid droplets in the intake manifold. The better is the fuel volatility, or you can say better is the performance of the engine. If there is some droplets in the manifold or fuel won't volatile, so it will go as it is in the exhaust. It won't burn properly, it won't mix with the air, and it won't get converted into this amount of fuel is wasted, it won't convert it into heat. Next is crankcase dilution. Liquid fuels in cylinder causes loss of lubricating oil by washing away oil from cylinder walls. So some of the, you can say, if we use liquid fuel, so they will just wash the lubricating oil between the cylinder and walls. This deteriorates the quality of lubrication and tends to cause damage to the engine throughout through increasing friction. So lubrication oil has, if removed from the walls, so it will result into more friction. The liquid gasoline may also dilute the lubricating oil and weaken the oil film between rubbing surfaces. To prevent these possibilities, the upper portion of distillation curve should exhibit sufficiently low distillation temperature to ensure that all gasoline cylinder is vaporized by the time the combustion starts. So he is saying that in this curve, this part should be as low as possible at less temperature, because higher temperature, if the temperature is very high, if the fuel will vapor at very high temperature, so this will lead to the loss of lubricating oil and other problems in the engine. So we want the 100% fuel to be volatile, but we want it to be volatile at lesser temperature. We don't want a high temperature. We want fuel to volatile at a particular, up to a particular range of temperature. So next is vapor lock characteristics. So what is this? Usually what will happen if all the fuel, suppose your bike or your vehicle is at a standing position without engine is switched off. So what will happen? Fuel will evaporate itself due to room temperature, and it will form a vapor lock. So that should be avoided. We don't want that condition to happen. So high rate of vaporization of gasoline can upset the carburetor, metering, or even stop the fuel flow to the engine by setting up a vapor lock. So means if vaporization, if fuel is much highly volatile, so it will disturb the carburetor metering system. That will discuss that we will discuss in the chapter what is carburetor metering in SI engine. So the fuel will flow to the engine by setting up a vapor lock in the fuel passages. This characteristic demands the presence of relatively high boiling temperature hydrocarbons throughout the distillation range. Since the requirements is not consistent with the other requirements, so we have to, overall we need a fuel which won't produce vapor lock at you can say in the engine. Next is anti-knock quality. Abnormal burning or detonation in SI engine combustion chamber causes a very high rate of energy release. Excessive temperature and pressure inside the cylinder adversely affects its thermal efficiency. So what will happen in the case of spark ignition engine? We want fuel to burn when we will give the spark. Before the end of compression stroke, we will give the spark. We don't want fuel to burn spontaneously or by itself. We don't want fuel to detonate itself. We want to provide spark, and that spark is properly timed. At particular times the spark will be given and the heat energy will be released from the fuel. So therefore the characteristics of fuel use should be such that it resists the tendency to produce detonation, and this property is called anti-knock property. The anti-knock property of a fuel depends on self-ignition characteristics of its mixture and vary largely with the chemical composition and molecular structure of the fuel. In general, the best SI engine fuel will be that having highest anti-knock property, since this permits the use of higher compression ratio and thus engine thermal efficiency and power output can be increased. If a fuel will burn at a higher temperature, means we can compress the fuel in the compression stroke, we can compress the fuel to a higher compression ratio. This is the limiting condition in SI engine, because at some point if the compression ratio will increase higher and higher, what will happen, the fuel will ignite during compression stroke without the spark, without any spark. So this is undesirable condition. We want a fuel which can you can say resist, which can which have good anti-knock property, and which will you can say burn at very high temperature. So next is your gum deposits. Reactive hydrocarbons and impurities in fuel have a tendency to oxidize upon storage and form liquid and solid gummy substances. The gasoline containing hydrocarbons of paraffins, naphthalene and aromatic families form little gum, while cracked gasoline containing unsaturated hydrocarbons is the worst offender. A gasoline with high gum content will cause operating difficulties such as sticking walls and piston rings and carbon deposits in the engine, gum deposit in the manifold, clogging of the carburetor jets and enlarging the valve stems, cylinder and pistons. The amount of gum increases with increased concentration of oxygen, with the rise in temperature, with exposure to sunlight and also on contact with metals. So gasoline specification therefore limit both the gum content of the fuel and tendency to form gum during storage. So it means whatever the fuel that will affect the engine performance in long run by some sort of deposit is on the engine or clogging of the carburetor, or means overall we will face problem in the working of the engine if the fuel does not fulfill these requirements. If there is a gum deposits, the fuel will produce a difficulty in the working of the engine components. The next is sulfur content. Hydrocarbon fuels may contain free sulfur, hydrogen sulfide and other sulfur compounds which are objectionable for several reasons. The sulfur is a corrosive element, as we know of the fuel, that can be corrode fuel lines, carburetor and ejection pumps, and it will unite with low oxygen to form sulfur dioxide in the presence of water, which will further form sulfuric acid. So since sulfur has a low ignition temperature, the presence of sulfur can reduce self-ignition temperature, then promoting knock in SI engine. So sulfur is also not desired in the fuel. So this content should be within a limit, otherwise it will produce sulfuric acid, as well as it will then promote a knock in the SI engine also. Okay, so this is up to here is the SI engine fuel characteristics. So in the next class video we will come with the next topic. Subscribe this channel and also like this video. For more videos you can comment in the below section. Thank you for watching this video.